All right, let's move along in the show here, El Toro. I want to get into I want to have a little fun here. So, I've done radio now for over 30 years. And when I say I've done radio, I've done sports radio, I've done country radio, I've done rock radio, I've done gospel radio, I've done pop
Done
radio.
it
I
all
mean,
on Jay.
I've done a lot of radio, okay? Um and in my rock radio life, I always like to carry around the Dr. J name, right? That was kind of a thing. I always had fun with that. I was a big fan. You're too young to remember this show. I was a big fan of a show called WKRP in Cincinnati way back in the day. And one of the main characters on there was a DJ named Dr. Johnny Fever. So Dr. J is going to have a little fun today. I've got prescriptions for 3 teams on what they've got to do to fix a problem. They've come into the doctor's office and now they're going to get their prescriptions. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's start with your team, the Auburn Tigers. Now, the prescription for Auburn is this, or the illness, right? The ailment. What they need help with is 1-score games. They went 5-7 last year. 6 of the 7 losses were 1-score losses. So if you flip those 6, they're 11-1. They only got beat in 1 game by more than 1 score. But it's kind of become an ongoing thing over the last few years. Now, excuse me, some of that I think can be fixed. And here's my prescription. 1, Alex Golesh he's got to establish confidence and culture. And the culture is this. When you get to the 4th quarter, I've watched Auburn now for years, and you have too, El Toro, for the last few years. They get in the 4th quarter and they're looking at each other like, is somebody going to make a play? Instead of, dadgummit, I'm going to make the play. I'm going to win the game. There's a culture and confidence thing that I think Golesh has to establish. I don't know how exactly to go about doing that. You can't it's not like you can mind meld with somebody, but he's got to establish a confident culture late in games.
Oh, absolutely, Jay. I agree with you 100%. They got to finish games. They have got to finish the ball game, man. And like you say, man, if they would have done that last year, man, things could look totally different. But I think that with Coach Golesh's addition in his offense, I think this is the recipe for them to finish game, because it wasn't because of the defense. The defense is still there. Coach Durkin, he's still there. The kids still feeding off him, playing off his energy. I mean, Coach Durkin is a player coach, man. He get them guys motivated, and he get them guys. I mean, they got them, man. They playing, Jay. You know what I mean? And so, and it was just remarkable to see, what he did with Auburn, man, and when he had the opportunity to run the program, man. The kids just fought harder for him. You know what I mean? So I'm glad to have that back. But yeah, Jay, they got to finish the ball game, man, and they got to do it. I'm gonna tell you one thing too, Jay. They got to win that Florida game. You talking about confidence?
Well, that's another part of my prescription, El Toro. I'm glad you brought it up. You got to protect home field.
Yes.
Jordan Hare is a great atmosphere. You know that better than anybody. The fans come out. I don't care if you're 5-7 or 9-1. The fans come out. You got to protect home field, man. You got to win that Florida game, right? You can't be dropping a home game to Vanderbilt. You need to protect home field. So that would be prescription number 2. And then here's the final one. I think Alex Golesh can help this team win 1-score games in the 4th quarter simply by making good in-game decisions and calling good plays in the 4th quarter. And look, everybody's throwing shade at Hugh Freeze, so whatever. I'll pile one more on. But I think it was the Oklahoma game. Might have been, it might have been A&M. It was either A&M or Oklahoma game. I think it was A&M. In the 4th quarter, Auburn gets the ball in their own territory, and they start gashing runs. I mean, they're gashing them, right? And it's run after run after run. You get up to midfield, and then all of a sudden, hey, let's let Jackson Arnold, pull it out one time, and we'll throw a quick hitter out there. Well, he gets fooled by a linebacker who showed blitz and backed off, throws it right to him, and Auburn loses the lead. And from there, it was kind of like game over. You can see the air come out of the tire. I think just being, if you're gashing somebody with the run with the lead in the fourth quarter, damn it, keep running the ball, man. Make them stop you.
Hey,
You
Jay,
know?
I tell you this, Coach Gullis, hey, he made an emphasis on he's going to run the piss off the ball.
That's his words, man.
So under Coach G, I don't think the running, stopping the running game and trying to find something else when the running game is good, I don't think that would be an option this year, Jay. He's going to run the piss out of the ball, man.
Yeah, no, I that's what he says, and I think that will help them a lot in those one score games. Patient number 2 coming into the doctor's office is USC and Lincoln Riley. And the diagnosis is this: you need to win in the Big Ten. Now, they've recruited pretty well the last couple of years. They picked up their recruiting. Jaden Maiev is a good quarterback, so I like the quarterback out there. But he has not adjusted to Big Ten football. You're not in the old Big 12. When he was at Oklahoma, they're in the old Big 12. Every game's like 45 to 39. This is not that. Nobody played defense in the Big 12. Everybody plays defense in the Big 10. Even the bad teams can play a little defense. And he just has not adjusted to it. He's got to find a way to improve his defense, which they did bring in Gary Patterson, the old head coach at TCU, to run the defense. They've got to run the football a little more effectively. And then Lincoln Riley needs to balance his offense.
Yes.
This is not the Kyler Murray, thing where, well, we're going to run around, we're going to throw it 40 times a game. You've got to find some balance in that offense. Lincoln Riley, college football is turning back into a line of scrimmage game. Lincoln Riley has not adjusted with it at all. And if he doesn't, then they're not going to make the playoffs. And I'm telling you, El Toro, I think anything less than 9 regular season wins this year, and he's out of a job. If even 9-3 might get him out of a job, because I don't think it'll get him in the playoffs.
I agree 100%, Jay. He has got to make some changes. And you're right. The most important change that he has to make that's going to be vital to this team is the defensive side. We got to get these guys physical. You can't you can't every week you can't go into this shootout thinking that you're going to be able to throw the ball down the field and win on the last play. It don't work like that, Jay. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, Jay, if he's not able to find that what he needs as far as improving his team on the defensive end, he might not be there next year, Jay.
All right, patient number 3 into Dr. J's office today is kind of a sad patient. It's the Arkansas Razorbacks. They've been bad now for a while. And really, I think the illness is this: they're not committed to football at Arkansas right now. I just don't believe they're committed to football at Arkansas. The athletic director has talked about how much they're putting into the basketball program with John Calipari. Baseball program's great, but even though basketball can turn a profit, basketball turns a few $1 million in profit. If you're killing it at football, you can turn tens of millions of dollars in profit. And there's no excuse for Arkansas to be broke, to be poor. You've got Walmart and Tyson Chicken in your backyard. There's no excuse. It's not. There's a great story, El Toro, when Frank Boyles was the athletic director at Arkansas. This is back in 1990. They were just getting ready to join the SEC. They had made a Final Four appearance. Frank Boyles wanted to build a new basketball arena. He had Nolan Richardson there coaching that team. So they had a hell of a basketball program, but they needed a new facility. So he goes to see Sam Walton, the Walmart guy, and he shows him the renderings of this beautiful state-of-the-art facility. And it wound up being probably the best basketball facility in the country at the time. And he goes, yeah, Mr. Walton, thank you for meeting with me. Shows him the renderings, and here's our plans for Arkansas basketball. We're going to be a national program. We're going to be going to Final Fours. We're going to be, the highest level. Mm-hmm. And Mr. Walton says, well, how much money are you trying to raise? He said, well, we're trying to raise $30 million. Guy sits down and strokes a check. So wow. That's, and now
Wow.
Depending on what sources you believe, some sources say he stroked a check for 15 million. I heard many years ago that he stroked a check for the whole 30.
Jay,
So
he stroked a check.
yeah, but it was at least 15 million.
That's right. He stroked a check.
I heard it was the whole banana. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's money there. So go fix your program, man. There's no excuse for Arkansas to be as bad as they are. And you and I talked about this, but one of the rumors that was floating around when Arkansas was in their coaching search, nothing against Ryan Silverfield, but one of the rumors that was floating around was that John Gruden wanted to coach in the SEC. Well, if John Gruden wanted to coach in the SEC and I'm Arkansas and I need a shot in the arm bad, John Gruden's going to give you a shot in the arm, man.
Jay, that would have changed the look of the program immediately. You know what I mean? And I'm going to tell you the one thing John Gruden would have done. He would have put an emphasis on that football program, and he would have enforced it that we get all the financial help that we need, you know what I mean, to help make this program better. And then also, Jay, I feel it would have showed that the commitment to the program. They want to get somebody here, you know what I mean, that can fire up a fan base, that has a ton of experience. Jay, like that would have been like out the door, man. That would have been out the door, man.
I would have done it. You spent the money to hire Calipari in basketball, right?
Right.
You know, I mean, look, Ryan Silverfield may turn out to be great. I don't know. Anyway, that's my prescription for Arkansas. Dr. J's prescriptions for those three teams.